The 2026 Winter Warmer Trophy from Trent Valley Kart Club, brought to you exclusively on SlipStream by Alpha Live, and the SlipStream members will see one driver failing to make it to the start of the Junior Rotax B final. That's Ralph Rakaitis. 30 of the 61 Junior Rotax drivers have already automatically qualified for the A final. The final 4 members of the grid will be decided in this next race. There were 28 drivers on the grid. There are now 27 with the departure of the Thule Motorsport number 135 of Ralph Rakaitis. And so we will have a second warm-up lap. Stanley Stafford in kart number 243, alongside Devin Taylor on row number 1. Oliver Barton and James Fabricius, row 2. Elijah Hazelwood, the Junior Primo champion from the kart championship last year, and Hakeem Batt go on from row number 3. Jamie Richards, Kevin Ivanov, Elijah Hartley, Shea Hilton, Harry Ward, Lily Shaw, Liam Dooling, Oliver Fabricius. They are all underway through the Bruno Ferrari S's. 8 minutes plus 1 lap. 4 drivers will go through. 24 rather, will go home. Out of the bridge through turn number 4 for the first time. It's the MLC number 114 of Devin Taylor, who leads Stanley Stafford for the Hunter Motorsport team, getting it all crossed up under braking. And that puts the second MLC kart, that's James Fabricius, into P2 with a brave move under leaden skies here in Lincolnshire. Through the Fullerton S's we go for the first time, and Stanley Stafford has second place back. The 291 of Fabricius sits there in third position. Elijah Hazelwood runs fourth for the X-Kart team as they cross the line to complete lap number 1. Oh, Stanley Stafford getting pushed almost as we go underneath the bridge. There's that Hunter Motorsport number 243 holding off Fabricius. Then it's the purple and pink Cosmic kart, the privateer driver Kevin Ivanov. Ivanov there in 4th position, looks over his shoulder and is about to get passed round the outside by the black and white X-Kart of Elijah Hazelwood, or is he? No. Ivanov holds on. Here comes Hazelwood, side by side. Once again, Ivanov holds off Hazelwood going through the Fullerton S's. And finally, he can breathe a little bit. Oliver Barton is the next kart in line in 6th position, followed by Jamie Richards, Shea Hilton, Oliver Fabricius and Hakeem Batt. That is your top 10. Up at the front, Devin Taylor trying to pull away. At the moment, he's doing it. Stanley Stafford being pushed along. Not by James Fabricius any longer, but by, the number 67 kart is out. Jay Singh for R1 Racing. Stafford is now being chased still by Fabricius. No, he's not. Here comes Ivanov up into 3rd position. Fabricius is on the bubble. Here comes the 247 of Elijah Hazelwood. Hazelwood trying to force his way into the main event. Barton, Riches, Hilton, Oliver Fabricius are all next up. Yellow flags waving. Stationary yellow flag, at the Fullerton S's. Trying to see what that is for. There's more yellow flags waving at the Bobby Game corner. I think that is for the recovery of the number 67 kart of Jay Singh. It is. That is now clear, and the track goes back to full green. Stanley Stafford, new fastest lap. There's Shea Hilton going underneath the bridge. Shea in 8th position. Oh, someone gets absolutely sideways a bit further back, and they manage to save it as they go on to the bowl. And this is all helping Devin Taylor to just pull away. In fact, Devin Taylor and Stanley Stafford are trying to both pull away. Here's 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. New 5th place driver. Is that Oliver Fabricius? It is, passing his brother James. Both driving for the MLC Motorsport team. They're now 5th and 6th. Both Fabricius brothers currently not qualified for the main event. These two are, at the moment. That's Devin Taylor and Stanley Stafford. Then it's Ivanov and Hazelwood, with the both Fabriciuses and Shea Hilton right behind them. Good battling going on down the pack for the minor placings, but that is not for a transfer spot. These are up into 4th position. Hazelwood having to defend a little bit. Here comes one of the Fabriciuses. It is the 290 of Oliver, who dives to the inside. Now he's got his help from his brother James and Shea Hilton. Elijah Hazelwood gets squeezed wide. Now, Stanley Stafford passes Devin Taylor. They don't need to battle with one another because they're both in the main event. At the moment, these two drivers on your screen are starting from row number 16 in the final. So whether it's the inside of row 16 or the outside of row 16, it doesn't matter very much. It's still... Oh, and who's that pulling off? Who is that pulling off? That's James Fabricius out of the race, out of the potential transfer spot. The MLC Motorsport kart broke coming out of the final corner. Well, that means that Oliver Fabricius has now moved into 3rd position. So one member of the Fabricius family currently qualified for the main event. Kevin Ivanov is the driver on the bubble. There he goes in that cosmic chassis, the purple, pink and white liveried machine. There is Ivanov. He's got that Red Bull livery crash helmet. He's being chased by the number 188 kart now, Shea Hilton. Elijah Hazelwood has dropped back to 6th. Jamie Riches is 7th. Oliver Barton, Isaac Jameson and Hakeem Batts, the rest of the top 10. Minute and a half to go. Across the start finish, across the bridge we go. Through turn number 4, down the hill. Nothing to choose between the drivers in 4th and 5th. Shea Hilton now moves into P4. Hilton in the number 188 kart, privateer effort, Shea Hilton. He has passed Kevin Ivanov. There is Hilton. Ivanov chasing him, going through the Fullerton S's, right behind them, Elijah Hazelwood. So that somewhat dog-eared looking green, black and white liveried machine of Shea Hilton is the last driver currently qualified for the main event. Ivanov and Hazelwood want to pass him and make it themselves. 45 seconds to go. At the moment, one of these 3 karts is going through, the other 2 are going home. Ivanov to the inside. Is that going to open the door for Hazelwood to pass both of them? Yes, it does. Elijah Hazelwood onto the bubble into P4. Ivanov 5th. Hilton back to 6th. Jamie Riches is closing in 7th. 15 seconds to go, and now Ivanov and Hilton have to be very, very smart indeed. If they battle any point now, then Hazelwood will be gone and into the main event. Hilton has to be very patient here. He has to push Ivanov for as long as possible. Push him all the way down the main straight. push him around the banking, push him on the run down the hill towards the first hairpin, and then he might be back in a position where either of them can pass Elijah Hazelwood. At the moment, Hazelwood is just about clear under the bridge through the Bruno Ferrari S's. Hazelwood is a kart length clear. Side by side further back, there is the driver in fourth place, 247, Elijah Hazelwood, the black and white X-Kart driver. Ivanov and Hilton are next in line. Out of the first hairpin, time is ticking. Through hairpin number 2. And now, Stanley Stafford, Devin Taylor, and Oliver Fabricius can breathe a little bit easier. Can Elijah Hazelwood? Stafford's going to take the win. Taylor second. Oliver Fabricius third. And fourth across the line will be Elijah Hazelwood, who provisionally rounds out the 4 qualifiers. Sadly, Kevin Ivanov, Shea Hilton, Jamie Riches, Isaac Jameson, Oliver Barton, Hakeem Batt, and the rest all miss out. I will let you run through the results on screen while I eat a chip or several, and we'll be back then on the SlipStream premium content for the start of the main events coming right up. Main event times begin. As I just choke on a chip. That's a me problem, not a you problem though, ladies and gentlemen. It's Water Swift. And it's Alfie Davidson and Bodie Batch on the front row. Mason Hibbert and Oliver Tsay on row number 2. Evan Owen and Hero Tsay on row number 3. Oliver Kleinfelter George Greaves, Hugo Williamson, Travis Giddings, Frank Morris, Louis Williams-Mabs and Piran Brooks. Welcome aboard, Lucy Liversedge. Ready to watch Oliver Liversedge race a little bit later on. Here are your water swifts. Now, just quickly around up there. I have not got any new messages in my chat, apart from Lucy Liversedge, who subscribed. I said thank you very much. Anybody else? Well, good luck for the main events. Here we go. This is SlipStream, powered by Alpha Live. Slipstreaming is going to be the key to victory here. Out of the Mike Wilson complex. Into the tram lines. Alfie Davidson leads them to a false start, which allows potentially someone to come and maybe, if I speak nicely, to come and change over the live chat so I can speak to you, the viewers, again, which I know you love. We'll go around again. I will try another chip, or 3, however many I can shove down my Gregory Peck in one go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you pay your £12. You pay your £12 Slipstream subscription fee to listen to the commentator talk about how nice the chips are from the restaurant at Trent Valley Kart Club. We may have an issue with the live chat in my commentary box. I will endeavour to bring you up to date, though, between races. Anyway, lights are out. We're off and racing in Water Swift here at the Winter Warmer Cup at Trent Valley Kart Club. Onto the bowl through the banking around turn number 3, and everybody behaving themselves nice and cleanly. Coming off turn number 4, the Fusion Motorsport top 5 has been broken apart because the XL Motorsport number 27 at Effin Owen is making himself a nuisance at the front, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to disrupt the rhythm of the Fusion drivers. He needs to constantly harass and harangue and annoy and frustrate the Fusion drivers, because that is the only way that a single person running, he's not a single kart team, he's the only XL racing driver here, XL Motorsport driver here. So effectively, he is a single kart team against 5 Fusion Motorsport drivers. And if he lets them work together, they will jettison him at the earliest opportunity, and he cannot allow that to happen. So he has to keep going in, fighting, and then without losing too much ground, keep harassing, keep pushing, keep making moves, etc., etc. Hello, and great job, Stanley Stapp. This is Henry Hales Racing. We got the live chat back. Hey, Henry Hales, good luck to Travis Giddings. Travis Giddings at the moment is 10th in this race. Teddy Higgs. Let's go, Teddy. Ethan, let's go get it, he says. Ethan Owen. F1 Owen on St David's Day. Can we get a Welshman on the podium on St David's Day? Well, at the moment, F1 Owens is looking to the inside of Oliver Tsay. Oh, has he made the move stick? Not quite. That was brave from both Oliver and F1 there. He starts another lap. Still, Mason Hibbert leads, but for how much longer? Alfie Davidson is right there. So is Bodie Batch. The three most experienced members of the Fusion team in this race now all keep themselves at the front. And I was going to say this is possibly the first chance we're going to see of some real teamwork developing between the Fusion drivers, but maybe not. Let's have a wait and see. Now, Hibbert isn't defending. Davidson is not attacking. Batch is sitting and waiting to push Davidson, hopefully along, but maybe past Hibbert if Davidson makes a move. All the while, Oliver Tsay is there in fourth. Then it's F1 Owen and Hero Tsay. The top six separated by 1.5 seconds. Kleinfelter, Giddings, Greaves, Williamson, Morris, Williams, Mabs and Brooks. All still in line. Oh, the day goes from bad to worse for Louis Williams Mabs. Mechanical failure for Louis Williams Mabs as Alfie Davidson with 6 minutes to go takes the lead of this race, backs up his teammates. Bodie Batch snatches second. Hibbert drops from first to fourth because Oliver Tsay makes the move. And although Hero Tsay has passed Ifan Owen, the XL Motorsport driver, is possibly in just as good a position, if not better, than he was at the start of this lap because everybody has concertinaed together. Now, 5 minutes to go. Ooh, Dirk gives me a very... Okay, so for SlipStream viewers and members only, you asked me my opinion on the changes to the drop-down nose cones, or rather the fact that at the SCUSA Pro Tour in several classes they are no longer going to use the drop-down nose cone penalty. What are my thoughts on it? My thoughts are that if SCUSA aren't literally the best prepared they've ever been in terms of on-track officiating, off-track cameras, judges of fact, stewards, etc., that can basically, you know, do the job that the nose cone bracket does for them, then they are in for a tough season. If they have got all those pieces of the puzzle in place, then good luck, and it could work, and it could, if the data supports it, actually mean that more and more championships can remove the drop-down bumper and still have good, fair racing. However, it is putting an awful lot of pressure onto their officials, I have to say, and especially with the prize money involved, certainly in the pro classes, I think they're asking for trouble, personally. I hope I'm wrong, but when it comes to that type of thing, I very rarely am, and I'm very rarely wrong about calling an amazing Slim Shady, but oh, Mason Hibbert just eases back in front of Alfie Davidson, who tried to go round the outside. Yes, you can get Iron Brew ice cream, says Rich Morrow. All these wonderful questions, courtesy of the SlipStream subscribers, but I got to talk about this go-kart race. I have had Iron Brew ice cream. Yes, very good. The orange amber nectar. Here we go. Still stuck at the back of this group, hanging on stubbornly, like a bit of chewing gum on the bottom of your trainer. It is F1 Owen. He's not letting the Fusion freight train pull away. Hibbert defends onto the banking. 3 minutes to go. There's a move for 8th place, 7th place rather. Travis Giddings passes Oliver Kleinfelter. They're the next two karts not in this lead group. Now, 3 minutes to go. This is where F1 Owen, if he wants to get on the podium, F1 Owen needs to start making his moves now. 3 minutes to go, that's a lot of time. However, he needs to pass 3 drivers to get on the podium, and he needs to make 3 clean moves that don't cost him too much time to the driver in front, but also doesn't make him susceptible to being repassed the minute he makes the move. So, he made 1 move on Hirotse halfway around this lap, but Hirotse passed him back, which of course it's so easy to do here at PF International. So now, F1 Owen has just 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. And still 3 drivers to pass. So each move becomes more and more critical. Now, Hibbert defending again from Davidson. Bodie Batch takes a wide line in. Davidson again. Now that's not worked for the second time. So if I were Alfie Davidson, I would be considering launching an attack for the lead in a different place. Like coming out of hairpin number 2 as Hibbert squeezes his teammate to the inside. That's cost Davidson second place. And the top 6 are closer than ever. Hibbert not giving this one up without a fight. Batch now moves into second, Davidson third, then the 2 C's. Oliver leads Hero. F1 Owen holds a watching brief. Well, Ivan Owen, you're not going to make any moves there. You might have to sit and wait and just see what unfolds in front of you and be ready to capitalise. 5 Fusion Motorsport karts in first, second. No, make that 4 Fusion Motorsport karts because one of the T's has gone around. That would be Oliver T out of 4th place. So we're down to 4. Where's F1 Owen? Oh, don't tell me F1 Owen got caught up and delayed. He did. So even though F1 Owen is in 5th position, he's now fallen way back. 30 seconds to go. There's Hirotse passing Bodie Batch. Still Hibbert leads from Davidson. Mason Hibbert 7th in the Icebreaker, 2nd in the Winter Cup at Valencia, 8th in last year's British Championship. He going up against Davidson, who won the Icebreaker, has come 2nd at the Winter Open Cup at Wilton. He's come 2nd at the New Year's Sprint at Wilton Mill, 4th in the Winter Cup. Oh, and now he tries to go round the outside. What an absolutely beautiful move that gets absolutely snookered. Goes 1 up by Hero. Say, anything you can do, I can do twice as better. Hero Say, kart 24, goes from the outside to the inside. Ethan Owen is close enough to pick up the pieces. The clock has struck 0. Next time by, it'll be the last lap board. Hibbert is back in front somehow. Mason Hibbert is back in front ahead of Davidson. Batch. Hero Say has gone from 4th to 1st to 4th. Owen is there. They're going to get the last lap board next time by. Pick a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Any one of 5. Hibbert is showing an immense amount of determination, but Davidson is showing an immense amount of overtaking ability. Through the Bruno Ferrari S's, onto the banking. Don't tell me it's starting to spot with rain. Over the Litchfield Bridge, through turn number 4, down the hill. And into hairpin number 1. Davidson tries for a 3rd time to go around the outside. He keeps it pinned, and that's it for Alfie Davidson. Mason Hibbert just eased him wide. Bodie Batch now up to 2nd. Here comes F1 Owen. 1 more place for a podium for the Welshman on St David's Day. It is raining. It is raining with half a lap to go. Surely Hibbert can hold on from this point. Surely he won't lose it. It's going to be Mason Hibbert as the rain starts to fall. Who gets second behind Hibbert? It's Batch. Hero Say and Effen Owen in fourth after a fantastic race. You see the remaining runners trickle across the line. Unofficially, your Water Swift winner is Mason Hibbert. It's a Fusion 1-2-3. Hibbert goes one better than he did in the IAMI X30 Winter Cup in Valencia. Bodie Batch, well, he took a podium at the last weekend, the Winter Open Cup at Wilton Mill. He now goes one better with a P2 here. And Hero Say, fifth in the icebreaker here, third a month down the line. And you can see there that Ted Hicks, well, Ethan Owen finishes fourth to the annoyance of Teddy Higgs. Henry Hales Racing supporting Mason Hibbert and Rich Morrow. Good to see Harrison Morrow doing well in Formula Fords now. Great effort from Effen Owen, says Rich Morrow. As a fine mist of rain now begins to fall, creating the worst problem imaginable for the mechanics, especially when you consider the youngest drivers here, the Micro Swift, the Micromaxes and the Water Swift Restricted drivers are up next. They'll be on slick tyres and the mist is falling. The track already looking very, very greasy indeed. Welcome back to the premium SlipStream live coverage of the finals at PF International's Winter Warmer Trophy 2026. We're on slick tyres. The track is wet. This is the Water Swift and Micromax. Is it just Water Swift? They've split them up, haven't they? So this is the Water Swift Restricted class, and there should be 8 drivers. There are still 8 drivers, though Arlo Poulter Goody had a spin. So did George Askew. They're not gonna be all together at the start. Oh, and there's a few getting caught up together. Oh, there's 2 more gone. We'll go around again, and this could be a deciding moment. What if the rain stops and it's just literally a fine mist? It's a fine mist, and there are brighter skies around us. Now you can see on our camera there droplets of rain at the banking. Behind that camera there is a lighter patch of sky as we watch and wait. It will be Cole Parrish and Riley Aston Wilkins on the front row, Ollie West and Max St. Hilaire on row 2, Caden Hakura and George Askew row 3, Arlo Poulter Goody and Logan Hodgetts row 4. And of course, it's in these conditions, it's hard enough just to get your karts into the right formation, in the right order, let alone a tidy start formation. Ollie West lining up behind Cole Parrish. We need Riley Aston Wilkins and Max St. Hilaire. They are there as well. We've got 7 of the 8 altogether. Oh, are we going to get into the tram lines? No, we're not going to go around. And it just so happens to be the absolute worst moment at the worst time with the worst class. And I say worst class, that's not it's the least experienced drivers. It's the youngest and the least experienced drivers being sent out on slick tyres on a greasy track. Now, of course, they're going to get one more potential. Oh no, the red flags are coming out. So red flags are out. I will let you know whether this is a stoppage, just to briefly chat to the drivers and send them round again, or to send them back to put wet tyres on and they will run again later. I don't know. I will bring you up to speed when I know. But in the meantime, this is another little bonus that you get for being a SlipStream member. You get to sit quietly and contemplate what might happen as you watch David Manchester instruct the drivers. I was going to say, bloody hell, Dan Ashton's grown a bit. But no, it's Dave Manchester instead. Right, we shall be back very shortly. This time the lights are out and we are racing 10 minutes. Hopefully track conditions improve as the race goes on. For the time being, our Water Swift restricted drivers tiptoe their way around the banking. Ollie West has already disappeared up the road. There is the number 127 Paralyn kart of George Askew. 2, 4, 6, there's 7 drivers. Where is the 8th of our drivers? Where is Riley Aston Wilkins? In kart number 11, the answer is he's crawling round. You just saw him flash to the top of your screen, going through the first hairpin in the all-white kart. But Cole Parrish is chasing after this driver, Ollie West. Well, Ollie, his job is to now make this race extremely hard for me. His job is to clear off and then leave it to me to try and make this race sound to be anything other than an absolute snooze fest. Well, challenge accepted, young Ollie. Well, it's down to Cole Parrish and Logan Hodgetts. There they are, the 174 and the 74, to create a bit of excitement and maybe even close the gap as track conditions improve. So, everyone does their best lap this time around. 1 minute 14.04 seconds for our race leader, Cole Parrish, trying to signal to Logan Hodgetts and saying, come on, let's work together. Hodgetts goes, yeah, I agree, but can we work together when I'm in front? And Cole Parrish goes, well, no, I want to be in front. Well, you can't both be in front. And then someone screams, I just want to go fast. Parrish and Hodgetts losing time, and Parrish gets a poor run coming out of the second hairpin, and that drops him quite a way back from Logan Hodgetts. Caden Hakura runs fourth, then it's Max St. Hilaire, Arlo Poulter Goody, George Askew and Riley Aston Wilkins still out there. Now once again, Ollie West, 3 purple sectors, a 1 minute 10.7, so he's 4 seconds quicker on this lap. It looks as though those brief spottles of rain have subsided. Well, they're still in the air, and they're still making the track surface a little very greasy. You can see the colour of the tarmac has changed, that dull grey, like gunmetal grey. Now, the asphalt here at PFI, Ollie West, 4.5 seconds up the road, and motoring serenely on. He is carrying the number 4 on his kart because he finished 4th in last year's British Championship. Yellow flag is out under the bridge, and that is for Arlo Poulter Goody, who has stopped. Now the lap times are coming down again. There's poor Arlo Poulter Goody as he backed that kart into the inside barriers. Well, there's one Birrell ART. Rear bumper looks okay. Everything else is still on. So maybe just a rotation, a bump against the barrier, and that was all she wrote. West leads now by 6 seconds. Past that waved yellow flag, you can see the marshal still on the inside of the circuit, so until that marshal is out of harm's way, the yellow flag will remain. Ollie West won convincingly last weekend at Wilton Mill at the Winter Open Cup. Shennington's Love of Speed was where we saw Logan Hodgetts finish 3rd. And of course, last weekend, West beat Cole Parrish. Logan Hodgetts spins out of P2. He was on course to go 1 place better than he did at the Shennington Love of Speed race earlier this year. Oh, Ollie West understeering. Now the rain's coming down. Now it's coming down harder and harder. This is going to give the Micromax drivers and their teams an absolute nightmare to deal with down on the dummy grid. West, through the increasing gloom, crosses the line, grown by 12 seconds. And there's another spin for the number 127 of George Askew. He is running 7th and last. Riley Aston Watkins there, now you can see, trying to pick up a couple of places, passing Max St. Hilaire, potentially. Oh, this is going to be a slow, torturous last 4.5 minutes. As you can see, Aston Watkins up into P5. Max St. Hilaire, the all-black kart, number 81, is in 4th position. Logan Hodgetts is still 3rd. That is how much of a gap that he had, that him and Cole Parrish had over the rest of the field. Ollie West is 14 seconds up the road after just 4 laps. There's only 3 drivers within half a minute of Ollie West at the moment. That is a display of total dominance, and there's the difference between, he runs a little bit wide, and that's the difference between a second-year Water Swift restricted driver and a bunch of first-year drivers in this class. Ollie West has just got that little bit more confidence. He's a little bit more switched on to reacting to a change in track conditions because he's had that extra year in the saddle where all sorts of things can happen over the course of a full season. Oh, it's so torturous. You can see Max St. Hilaire, he has to get out of the gas completely, wrench the wheel, get the front tyre to potentially dig in if at all possible before he can tiptoe his way and slither his way through the Fullerton S's. There are the bright skies that are moving back towards the PF International Circuit. Last time around, 1 minute 32 for Ollie West. That compares to a 1 minute 10 fastest lap for him. So 22 seconds off dry track pace on these slick tyres. You can see Ollie West just trying to clear his visor. The water settling on his visor, creating visibility issues. Luckily, he hasn't got to follow anybody. There is Cole Parrish, 20 seconds behind in P2. What a drive so far from Ollie West. Oh, over that curb, he runs a bit wide onto the grass blocks. Now you've got to be so careful hitting the curb through that final complex in the wet. If you hit it right, it helps you get round the corners better. If you hit it wrong, it spits you across the track, and you're in all sorts of difficulties trying to regain any form of traction. Is 90 seconds to go for Ollie West. This has been a crushing display of dominance. Again, he wipes his visor just so he can potentially get a better view of where he's going. Into hairpin number 1. He's got to be so careful. You saw how the back end of the kart wanted to swap round at him. He applied the throttle halfway round the first hairpin, and the back of the kart suddenly jinked backwards. It jinked sideways, and he had to get out of the throttle and recorrect the steering. That is how much of a tightrope this driver, in fact all the drivers, are walking, and yet he's still, Ollie West, continues to extend his lead, not by a couple of tenths per lap, but by a couple of seconds per lap. He's 4 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else. Cole Parrish is second. He is 6 seconds in front of Logan Hodgetts. Hodgetts in third is 9 seconds in front of Riley Aston Wilkins. Max St. Hilaire, Caden Hakura, George Askew follow a long way back. Next time around, Ollie West will get the last lap board. Out of turn number 4, down the hill. This is where he's got to be so careful. Don't let the back end snap round on you, Ollie. That's where you had the issue before. Survives intact. Once again, being a bit more aggressive now into the second hairpin. You can see him soaring away at the steering wheel there, trying to generate any form of heat into those tyres. Uses the curb wisely through the Fullerton S's. And just as quickly as those spots of rain return, now they disappear again. And the last lap was a 1 minute 23. So Ollie West picked up 10 seconds over his previous lap on the last time by. Now he's back to a 1 minute 16. So the track conditions are fluctuating in a way that I've never seen before. Drivers losing 10 seconds one lap, gaining 15 seconds the next lap, all down to just a couple of spots of rain here and there. Ollie West is not concerned with that. He's half a minute up the road. In karting, he may never, ever win another race by this margin. 30, count them, 30 seconds. And Ollie West has just survived. He survived, and he survived so much quicker than anybody else into Bobby Game corner. As the track now virtually dry again. He won't want to push too hard though. The Winter Warmer Trophy 2026 in Water Swift Restricted goes to Ollie West by a country mile. There's the second place battle going into the Fullerton S's. He's over half a lap in front, and Hodgetts is back in front of Parrish. Logan Hodgetts retakes second place from Cole Parrish. What a recovery drive from the number 74 to pass the 174, and that will complete your unofficial Water Swift Restricted podium, ladies and gentlemen. West, Hodgetts and Paris, with the rest a long way behind and still trying to make it to the finish. Race number 20 on the day. It's the final for Micromax. And here come the drivers out onto the circuit. And I'm looking, oh, there's a mixture of slicks and wets. This is going to get very, very interesting indeed, because as things stand, slick tyres will be the way to go come the end of the final. However, any more drops of rain, and that would spell disaster to those on slick tyres, as the skies continue to brighten And some blue sky emerges from behind the cloud as you look down the starting lineup here on SlipStream. Brought to you by Alpha Live. It's Jensen Darlow, Archie Gupta on row number 1. Tommy Lovejoy and Will Wainwright on row number 2. Now, the poleman, Darlow, is on slicks. I'm not sure how many drivers behind him are also on slicks, because I can see an awful lot of grooved rubber on the drivers starting alongside and directly behind Jensen Darlow. This could be very, very nerve-wracking. Well, if Darlow can get through lap number 1 on slick tyres in these track conditions and still be leading, you can kiss him goodbye. He's going to win this run by a lap. It all depends how little grip there is. We go under the Bruno Ferrari chicane. On to the banking. Looking back, there's a few drivers slipping and sliding, although you can't really see much of a difference between the slicks and the wets. Well, Darlow is not just holding the lead, he's looking very, very confident on the dry line. A little bit of argy-bargy back in the pack. I'm going to try and see, when they come underneath the commentary box next time around, I'm going to try and see who we have on slicks and wets. Because Darlow is clearing off. The question is, where's his nearest slick-shod rival? Well, there's Archie Gupta in second place. He is on wet tyres. The number 18 kart, that would be Heath Smith. He looks like he is on, let's have a look. He's on wets, in fact. Okay, the next driver on slick tyres is nobody. Darlow has gambled all on his own on slick tyres. The rest of the field are on wets, and the sun is shining. Jensen Darlow. The only, well, Mother Nature might have something to do about it, but you are in the catbird seat, young man. Now, don't throw it off. Jack's Motorsports sitting on pins and needles. Look at those ugly black clouds away from the circuit, but they are going away from the track. You can see the sun shimmering, creating those glistening effects. Look at the blue skies, and that is the direction that the clouds are coming from, or lack thereof. So, in the words of D. Ream, things can only get better if you're on slick tyres. And the only one who is on slick tyres is Jensen Darlow. Kyle Vieira did not take the start of this race. 4 seconds. There's that beautiful kart of Will Wainwright, who was briefly second. Now he is being pushed back to about 7th place. And I'm still checking. Now, I did a brief visual check. Archie Gupta is and Milo Taylor are definitely on wets. Oh, and there's a spin. In fact, there's 3 of them gone. That's 3 of them. One of them's a Jack's kart. Oh, and beached on the inside curb. That's the number 64 kart of Anthony Rie. Anthony Rie, frustrated. Come on, Marshall, help me. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you. Off I go. Darlow leads by 6 seconds. Meanwhile, 6.5 minutes to go. There goes Jensen Darlow at the top of your camera shot there, going under the bridge. Right, 1 minute 7 for Jensen Darlow, 3 seconds quicker than everybody else per lap. And that margin is only going to increase the longer this race goes on, provide there's no more rain. The longer this race goes on, the more confident Jensen Darlow gets, the warmer his slick tyres get, and the worse the wet tyres get on everybody else's kart as they shred and chew themselves to smithereens. There is the 67 kart of Milo Taylor, tried to find a way past Archie Gupta. Heath Smith through in P2, last year's mighty Bambino, British champion. Darlow, third in the icebreaker a month ago. He is odds on to win the Winter Warmer Trophy because his lead is now 10 seconds and we have completed 4 laps. Still 5.5 minutes plus a lap to go. Well, I wonder why, because obviously when the karts turned up at the dummy grid or turned up at the Parc Ferme area, that was before the rain had even started. So they would all be on slick tyres then. During the Parc Ferme pre-grid area, that is where everybody, apart from Jensen Darlow's team, decided to change tyres. So Darlow, not only did his mechanic save a little bit of physical exertion, I'm sure he made up for it with mental torture, watching everybody else change tyres and just thinking, nope, I'm going to stick to my guns, I'm going to stick to my guns. That mechanic stuck to his guns and is currently watching Jensen Darlow lead by 12.5 seconds. The good news is for the mechanic, if the Jensen Darlow carries on like this, then Jensen's mechanic is going to have the kart in the back of the van after being scrutineered and down the road before second, third and fourth cross the finish line. 13 seconds is now the gap between first and second. Milo Taylor being pushed along by Harry Riley and Jack Gould. Tommy Lovejoy runs in P7. There is Lovejoy in the number 77 kart. Will Wainwright is now 8th, followed by George Allison, Jensen O'Connor, Junior Wright, and then you have Eleanor Parsonage, Lani Eden, Jack Dundee, Elliot Hitch, and Anthony Rie still in the race after requiring a bit of assistance from the marshals to get going once he beached himself on the inside curb at hairpin number 1 a few laps ago. Jensen Darlow's best lap, a 1:07.08. 15 seconds. I don't think he's going to beat Ollie West's record of winning by 30 seconds, but he's going to give it a damn good go, ladies and gentlemen. What can you say about Jensen Darlow? Nerves of steel by his mechanic, nerves of steel by the driver. The 81 kart, Harry Riley, closing in to try and snaffle the final podium position away from MLC Motorsports' Archie Gupta. Looking at Archie Gupta, 23rd in the Icebreaker Cup for Gupta. Well, even if he doesn't get a podium here, it's going to be a huge result for Archie, I have to say. Out of the second hairpin we go. Into the Fullerton S's, 2 minutes to go. Bright, beautiful sunshine overhead, casting shadows glistening off the top of the drivers' multicoloured race helmets through the Mike Wilson complex. And still 90 seconds to go. Darlow's lead, 19.6 seconds. Is he gonna increase that advantage? I would have thought that he would have been pulling away even more. Now the wet tyres on everybody else's kart have absolutely been shredded to pieces. Although maybe all the grip, all the treads have gone off, and you're left effectively with a slick tyre surface again. Heath Smith, second place. There he goes on that RCE kart. Here comes Archie Gupta, side by side behind Gupta is Harry Riley. Tommy Lovejoy is there. Here comes Tommy Lovejoy. Behind Tommy Lovejoy is Milo Taylor. Jack Gould is also in this group. 2, 4, 5 karts in the group. Second, third, fourth. Well, Jack Gould is a little bit off the back of this pack now in 7th place. Will Wainwright is 8th. Allison, O'Connor all having a good scrap. Nearly 40 seconds behind the leader and just over 40 seconds down. That would be Parsonage, Wright and Lani Eden all having a good scrap, with Jack Dundee next in line. Elliot Hitch sadly has had to retire the number 76 card. Orion Kyle Vieira failing to start. Across the Litchfield Bridge we go. Jensen Darlow next time around will see, well, will he see the last lap board? Yeah, 10 seconds to go. Of course, I'm looking at the second place battle coming into the first hairpin. Darlow, your race leader, 20 seconds, 23 seconds in front of that. And already, have we had the last lap board? I think Jensen Darlow got, yes, we have indeed. Darlow takes the last lap board. He's already out onto the banking. So far away from everybody else. It's been another whitewash here on SlipStream's broadcast of the 2026 Trent Valley Kart Club Winter Warmer Trophy. They're not done battling over second place between Heath Smith, Tommy Lovejoy, Archie Gupta, Milo Taylor and Harry Riley. But here is Jensen Darlow. What a dominant, commanding victory on slick tyres. The only driver in the field to be on slick tyres. Wasn't that the right decision? Pole position, the victory by 30 seconds, half a minute. Our most recent two finals, the overall winning margin for the last two finals, 1 minute. Quite often we play the game at Kartmasters, what's the actual overall winning time? When you add all the winning margins together, what do you get? And sometimes you get 9 or 10 races, and if you add all the winning margins together, you still get less than 3 seconds. And in 2 races, the average winning the overall winning margin was 1 minute. Incredible. Jensen Darlow, Heath Smith, Tommy Lovejoy, Archie Gupta, Milo Taylor, Harry Riley, and Jack Gould, your top 7. Next race up here on the premium SlipStream coverage from the Trent Valley Kart Club Winter Warmer Trophy, it's Minimax. Question, haven't seen Charlie Page in any of the races. Charlie Page isn't racing this weekend. Hope that Charlie's doing okay. I know there was a bereavement in the family recently, so I hope that Charlie and the entire family are bearing it well. If you're watching, give us a thumbs up on the live chat. Here we go then. James Roots will start this one from pole position alongside Maximilian Abrahart. Evan Meller and Freddie Blackshaw are next. Elliot Bork and Jensen Sale round out row number 3. Drew Davidson and Riley Blakemore, followed by Soren Gallagher and Flynn Grantham. Ethan Lloyd and Ethan Manzi are next. Then it's Rio Paneatu, Thomas Legler, Charlie Gregg, Buddy Hugo, James Carver, Adam Batt, William Davidson, James Devereaux, Eli Owen, Jack Fulbrook-Harmer, Idris George, Jack Hill, Rupert Thomas, Hugo Torpy, Finley Rhodes and Isaac Garth. 28 drivers in total. Once again, green flag in the air. We're off and racing. Slick tyres, the order of the day. Blue sky shining. And we're into the business end of this meeting. In the back of the pack, a couple of carts get turned around on the banking. And that was a case of 4 into 1, just won't go. They're the 2 ST racing carts, side by side, coming into hairpin number 1. That is Drew Davidson, and who was the other ST kart? Freddie Blackshaw, I believe. The rest of the field safely negotiates the second hairpin. Up at the front, Maximilian Abrahart leads James Roots. Then a gap back to the global karting number 141 of Elliot Bork. Bork moving out of Honda Cadet this season and moving out with a massive degree of success, it has to be said, as I look to see the number 141. Whereas what's Elliot Bork been up to this year? The answer is I don't know. All I do know is that he is last year's Honda Cadet champion in the kart championship, so that shows his pedigree. However, pedigree is one thing, chum is another, and at the moment Elliot Bork needs a chum or two to help push him up towards the 2 leaders, because Abrahart and Roots are gone. There is, you can see the problem that Elliot Bork faces. The problem is about 30 kart lengths of clean air between himself and the 2 people he wants to get up to and pass, because Roots and Abrahart crossed the line again, working as one. Brilliant use of the slipstream. Get it? Going underneath the bridge, side by side briefly for third. Elliot Bork tries to make a move on Evan Meller, who has repassed Bork for P3. Now they come off the bridge behind Meller and Bork. Jensen Sale runs in 5th position. Then it's Drew Davidson, Ethan Lloyd, Soren Gallagher, Freddie Blackshaw and Buddy Hugo, Adam Batt, Finn Grantham, Riley Blakemore and Rio Panayotu, with Thomas Laidler and Jack Fulbrook-Harmer rounding out the top 16. Somebody's kart getting wheeled off to the side of the circuit. It was the Maxim Motorsports machine of Finley Rhodes. Oh, and there's another one gone. I think that is the number 87 of Isaac Garth, who has retired again. From the back of the field, Garth had made it up to 18th place, and now he retires as he did in the second heat race. Under the bridge, out onto the banking, running lap number 4. Roots and Abrahart separated by 0.3 of a second. Meller, Bork, Sale next in line. Now we move up. There's green flags waving going into the Fullerton S's, which means that there were previously... that was because halfway between the second hairpin and the Fullerton S's is the abandoned go-kart of Thomas Laidler. Laidler and Rhodes out of the race. Still, Roots leads Abrahart. Abrahart pushing. Roots along. Fantastic work there from the top two. You can see the three drivers chasing them, Evan Meller, Elliot Bork and Jensen Sale. You can see them trying to work together, but they just aren't quite as in sync as these two are. A warning for Eli Owen in kart number 119. Down the short chute. Into the Fullerton S's. Roots looking more and more comfortable the longer this race progresses, it has to be said. James Devereaux gets a warning. 4.5 minutes remaining. Well, third, fourth and fifth, despite the excellent work being put in by Roots and Abrahart, Meller, Bork and Sale are not being dropped completely. There's a 2-second gap between them, but that 2 seconds can evaporate very, very quickly with the three of them working together. And they are still working together, but there's still plenty of time. Over 4 minutes, plus a lap to go. I don't want to do too much chopping and changing, but if it's all like that, as you saw Elliot Bork move into that position, then he defends though going into the second hairpin. That is going to slow them down. The idea is, well, just take the racing line and then just slide in front of each other as the corners come along, because you'll end up just like the peloton in the Tour de France or other professional cycle race. Drivers just peel to the back and then get pushed towards the front one by one, so that everyone takes a turn leading the head of the train, and everyone takes a turn relaxing a little bit and resting in the slipstream. Well, you're all in the slipstream today. This is a slipstream production by Alpha Live, and James Roots trying to reverse the trend of having winners by half a minute. He'll be lucky to get half a second at this rate, because Abrahart is stuck to him like glue. Bork, Sale and Lloyd continue in third, fourth and fifth. Sorry, Bork, Meller and Sale, third, fourth and fifth. Ethan Lloyd is next in sixth position, and he has got Soren Gallagher right behind him. Behind Soren Gallagher is Drew Davidson in that bright yellow and blue ST racing machine. Buddy Hugo, Freddie Blackshaw round out your top 10. Ahead of Riley Blakeflaw, Justin Fulbrook-Harmer, Ethan Manzi, Isaac Garth, Flynn Grantham, and the rest of the field. 2.5 minutes to go. Still no movement between Roots and Abrahart. There have been a couple of initial exchanges of position. Now they're back into their rhythm, and now Abrahart knows the next time he tries to make a move on Roots, Roots will be actively looking to defend. 2 minutes to go. Out the short chute, through the Fullerton S's. Still no movement at the front. Abrahart glued to the rear bumper of James Roots. Their lead over Evan Meller, Jensen Sale and Elliot Bork is now a colossal 3-4 seconds. It is going to be a head-to-head fight between these two. The rain no longer a factor as the afternoon draws on here at PF International. Soren Gallagher, Drew Davidson, Ethan Lloyd and Soren Gallagher battling together. That is for 6th position. 8th position is Drew Davidson battling with Buddy Hugo. Fred Blackshaw is 10th, followed by Fulbrook Harmer, and then Fulbrook Harmer has got Riley Blakemore behind him. There's a lot of 2-kart scraps going on down the field. No big packs of karts, has to be said. There is the 17 and the 40. Evan Meller in 3rd. Jensen Sale in 4th. Still no movement. 45 seconds to go. Next time around, they will get the last lap board. So, does Abrahart fancy his chances leaving it till the last minute? Or does he feel good enough to make the move now and then withstand the pressure and whatever Roots can throw at him? Well, the answer is he's gone now. Maximilian Abrahart goes to the race lead now for Coles Racing over the bridge. Down the hill, checks over his shoulder. Roots prefers not to attack again just yet. They sit nose to tail, line astern. Up towards the 2nd hairpin now. Next time around, last lap board out. Roots having a little rummage round for a potential overtaking opportunity. Abrahart isn't leaving the door open one jot. They'll go into the Mike Wilson complex. They come out of the Mike Wilson complex. They see the last lap board displayed. Now Abrahart's got to start driving through his rear view mirror, if he had one. He defends going on to the bowl. Roots tries to get the crossover, tries to cut underneath as they go into turn number 4. Turn 3, sorry. Turn 4. Roots has a look. Oh, Roots up and over the back of Abrahart's coming off the bridge. Somehow they both escaped. I hope that hasn't ripped Abrahart's exhaust off. That would be so cruel. It looks like it's still attached. But this is the final lap and Roots isn't done yet. James Roots is not finished yet. What else can he throw at Maximilian Abrahart? He does the crossover, trying to get to the inside. Going into the Mike Wilson complex. Outstanding move from James Roots. What can Abrahart do on the run to the line? It's going to be a drag race. Can Abrahart slipstream past on the run to the line? No! He can't. James Roots is your provisional winner in Minimax. Jensen Sale finishes 3rd. 700ths of a second between Roots and Abrahart. Jensen Sale was only a 10th up on even Evan Meller by the end, with Elliot Bork in a close 5th, and a big gap back to Soren Gallagher, Ethan Lloyd, Buddy Hugo, then Drew Davidson and Freddie Blackshaw. The rest of the field you can go through at your leisure when it is on screen now. And I'll be back for the last 4 races of the event, starting with Senior X30. Senior X30. 33 drivers, led by Lewis Bird, with Aaron Brown on the outside of row number 1. Jack Nettleship and Hayden Eldridge start from row number 2. Cameron Edmonds and Nat Johnson go from row number 3. Look back further, Lewis Goff 9th, Harrison Mackie 10th, Harrison Whitacombe only 15th, and even further back than that, I think, well, Dylan Patel in 32nd place. Watch for Dylan to be making some moves. Still, the pole sitter is invisible on the starting grids. That is an issue that will not be cured today. Well, there is Lewis Bird, number 7. It's been a tough year for Lewis last year, all things considered, on and off track. 7th in the British Championship, even though he is a lot quicker than 7th in the country in this class. Hopefully, all being well, he gets a chance to show what he can really do this year. Lewis Bird won the icebreaker from Nat Johnson. Aaron Brown was P4 a month ago. Here we go, into the tram lines, lights are out, we're off and racing. Slick tyres, and oh, we got somebody into the barriers, we got a couple into the barriers, and everybody gets away apart from one driver who gets up out of their cart, looking incredulous, but walking away. Lewis Goff in the Alchemy Car Care sponsored number 63. Going slowly, oh, and there's some nose cone podding going on there, and that is Nat Johnson. Nat Johnson, winner 1 week ago at Wilton Mill, bent rear axle, out of the race. Nat Stappen will not win here today. And to be fair, 2nd in the icebreaker, a winner last weekend at Wilton. He was on course for another strong showing here, but it is not to be for the senior, the first year senior driver, Ethan Woodward, in his first year as his first race as a senior in kart number 83. Ethan Woodward is up into 7th place now. There's a change for 2nd place, Morgan Moore. Now not in the premium colours, he's moved across to Fusion. So Morgan Moore on a mission in the number 8 kart with the orange front to his crash helmet. If you are a SlipStream member, you will have seen Bump Draft, episode number 1, where each of us, Piers Pryor, myself, and Andrew Mather, oh, there's Harrison Mackie walking away. Max Ewell is out of the race. Harrison Mackie was the driver that was into the barriers on the opening lap. In Bump Draft, we have a segment called Unpopular Opinion, which is where both Piers, myself, and Andrew Mather give one unpopular opinion that we believe should be, made law in karting, and we have to argue amongst ourselves to see whether it actually is reasonable or not. Andrew Math, oh no, number 110, that is a heavy hit. Heavy hit after heavy hit. Jamie English out of the race. I can't give too much away, but Andrew Mather's unpopular opinion has a lot to do with luminous yellow, luminous orange on a driver's crash helmet. And now try and differentiate all the drivers who've got luminous orange and luminous predominantly orange, predominantly yellow crash helmets. Up front, up close and personal, they look incredibly intricate. I'll leave you to be the judge of whether they look good screaming past you at 70 miles an hour whilst the commentator tries to identify somebody. New leader, Morgan Moore. Just looking to see where Morgan Moore, he was second in the Miami X30 Winter Cup at Valencia, a windy Valencia, last month. No, earlier this month even. That's the highlight of his 2026 season so far. This would undoubtedly add to it. Nat Johnson has done the fastest lap of the race. It was Max Ewell, the McBarrett Racing driver, that was retiring with a bent axle. Nat Johnson is down to 10th. I do apologise. I was getting my 175s and my 15s all mixed up. It's quite easy to do, really, when you consider it, because one's got 2 digits and the other's got 3. Now, Jack Nettleship has a potential problem. Like hemorrhoids, his problems are all behind him because his rear bumper is about to fall off. Is he going to get the mechanical flag? We're not sure. Race officials are watching. Now, of course, it needs to be completely off. Hanging loose is different than coming off. And the race officials want to be very, very, very certain before they put out the mechanical flag. Hanging loose is one thing, hanging off is another. Is that rear bumper loose or is it off? Either way, Nettleship knows something is amiss because he can hear a bit of a scraping behind him. It hasn't stopped him from putting in moves left, right and centre. If the officials are happy that the bumper is merely loose and there's no risk of it suddenly flying off in the middle of the circuit, then it's a simple case of trying. It's a simple case of trying to coax it to the end of the race. We've got 4 minutes to go. Lewis Bird leads by 3/4 of a second. Morgan Moore, Jack Nettleship, rear bumper still hanging off. Still no technical flag. Behind Nettleship is Edmonds, Brown, Eldridge, Woodward, Johnston, Goff now waking up with the fastest lap of the race. Lewis is 10th. Then it's Jack Dan, Monty Brathwaite, Harrison Whitcomb, Piotr Jurovic, Oliver Meek, Perobak. Ethan Woodward still hanging on in 7th on his first weekend as a senior. Liam Karabelov moves into 24th position. There is Lewis Bird, your race leader. Morgan Moore second. Nettleship on that Gillard chassis. Sitting in 3rd, Aaron Brown for the PF International team. We haven't seen the best of Aaron Brown in this final. There's Nettleship, and he sends Moore up the hill into the shadow realm. Here comes Aaron Brown. Moore returns to the circuit, somewhat perturbed, back in 4th position. Eldridge now. Oh, they're all having a go at Morgan Moore and the mean green S8 racing machine. For Hayden Eldridge picks up a position. That puts Eldridge P4. Moore back to 5th. That bumper is loose but not off. Oh, he's going to be a lucky, lucky boy, is Jack Nettleship, if it stays where it is and doesn't come any loose any further or detach itself anymore. The race officials have looked at that bumper intensely and they have made the call. It is not a safety issue. It is loose, but it is still attached by enough places on the rear end of that cart that it is not going to pose a safety issue. Of course, one bump, one movement, and that could be a moot point as Aaron Brown takes the lead. Aaron Brown into top spot. 90 seconds to go. Bird second, Nettleship third, Eldridge fourth, Moore fifth. It's out of these 5 drivers. PF International, Premium Karting, Privateer, S8 Racing and Fusion Motorsport. On to the start-finish straight. 1 minute to go. Big gap. Edmonds 6th, Goff 7th, Johnson 8th, Woodward down to 9th, Jack Dan breaks into the top 10. Jack Dan, driver. Oh, Morgan Moore's gone. Moore has broken. The number 8 kart is out. We're down to 4 for the race win. Here comes Lewis Bird. Nettleship follows him through. Brown back to 3rd. Eldridge is hanging on in P4. What morsels, what scraps are going to come Hayden Eldridge's way? 30 seconds to go. Into the Fullerton S's, onto the back straight now. 3 out of these 4 drivers have led this race. Hayden Eldridge is waiting. You don't need to lead the most laps. You only need to lead the last one. 4 seconds to go. Bird defends. That's his right. Nettleship doesn't look too impressed. Oh, as they go on the banking, Nettleship has to force the issue. Nettleship now to the race lead. Brown second. Bird back to 3rd. Bird frantically points towards him. Look, he's getting away. Aaron Brown's thinking, well, he's got to get through scrutineering with that rear bumper first. Don't count on that, Aaron. Man's got to go up the road and catch him, as here comes the mean green S8 racing machine, Hayden Eldridge, up into P2. Well, how long did that last? 1 straight. And now he's back to 4th. The clock strikes 0. Rich Morrow on the SlipStream Premium live chat said he thought this was going to be the race of the day. We thought it was going to be the move of the day in this race. Well, it's been an absolutely knockdown, drag-out hullabaloo as this race. Jack Nettleship, half a rear bumper hanging off or not, is about, as a privateer driver, is about to up the ante, overturn the odds and score 1 for the lads and dads in the paddock against some of the very best. Oh, look at that rear bumper. That's privateer gaffer tape Hank holding it on. Premium and Fusion and PF International, they have all won British titles in this class. And it's going to be a privateer who wins the Winter Warmer Trophy. Jack Nettleship, what a drive. Lewis Bird, Hayden Eldridge and Aaron Brown are next in line. Cameron Edmonds and Lewis Goff are next. Nat Johnson, Piotr Jurovic, Jack Dan, and on his senior debut, Ethan Woodward rounds out the top 10. Okay, boys and girls, that was race 22. We've got 3 races to go. They are Junior X30, Senior Rotax and Junior Rotax. In the live chat, are we going to simple answer, yes or no? Is that going to be the race of the day, or is one of the last 3 races going to better it? Let us know in the SlipStream subscribers live chat. Yes or no? I'll ask John Richardson that question when I come back very shortly. Race number 23 on the docket, and it is Junior X30. I will take you through the starting lineup alongside John Richardson. We have got Aaron Richardson, no relation, and George Edgar on row number 1, Sukmani Kira, Alfie Brown, row 2, Rocco Shenton, Harley Musk, row 3, Finley Hines and Freddie Wood, row 4. Now, there are 35 drivers in total. I've taken you through the top 8. John, of those top 8, who are we looking for? Oh, we got another kart spinning on the rolling lap. That would be is that an Optima performance? Oh no, that is an XL kart. That's number 120. That is Harry Myers. So who are we looking for really? Anyone in the top 8, obviously, but you know, judging on what you've seen up here, who is looking good considering it's dry again?
I'd probably, obviously you've got the front two, Aaron Richardson and George Edgar. They've been absolutely amazing, but my person to keep an eye on now, Rocco Shenton. Of course it is.
How did I know we were going to say that? He is, well, Riley Murrow has got the nickname of the human highlight reel. We used to call Reggie Dewey Mr. Excitement. I think... Reggie hasn't raced in a long time. I think Mr. Excitement, that nom de plume, could go to Rocco Shenton. Oh dear. And somebody's had a spin on the way to the line. The rest of the field are off and running into the Bruno Ferrari S's. And it does look as though Rocco Shenton, John, is trying to make it high, wide and handsome. More black clouds incoming. That's a particularly ugly looking sky. Not that the race leader will have, oh dear, not that Aaron Richardson will have a problem with that. Oh, kart spinning. There's a McBarrett Racing kart going around. That looks like it was the two. I'll double check next time around. Harry Myers, Max Tatsutse has also had problems. He spun before we even got to the start line. Now, we head through the end of lap number 1. As they cross the line, it's going to be Aaron Richardson from his teammate Sukmani Kira. T2 Sugars is second. Then it's George Edgar, Alfie Brown, Rocco Shenton and Finley Hines. There's the first bit of highlight reel action from Mr. Excitement, Rocco Shenton. John?
Yeah, good move there from Rocco Shenton, and an important one there from Shenton. They were losing time to Kira and Edgar, and here comes Edgar on Kira. Good move there from Edgar. Now, will they catch Aaron Richardson? He's got a bit of a gap now, and has started to battle over second. Is he going to catch? We'll wait and see.
Yeah, they've got time, 8.5 minutes plus a lap to be precise. But Richardson is no slowpoke, that is for certain. Edgar Shenton in the number 6. I've got a... Rocco's dad enjoys the, me talking about Rocco. Rocco's mum, I don't want to upset Rocco's mum. She's lovely, but I don't want to upset her. However, we are going to call Rocco Mr. Excitement from now on because he's box office. He's one of those drivers. He's a bit like a Macaulay Bishop, a bit like a Callum Bradshaw. If you had to pay money, if you had to think, right, pick of 5 drivers that are going to put on a really good show, no matter what kind of kart, no matter what kind of circuit that you put them on, you're going to name drivers like Bradshaw, drivers like Bishop, and drivers like Rocco Shenton.
Yeah, absolutely. Rocco, he delivers some of the best action you see. Sometimes it's not good action, truthfully.
Well, sometimes you say good. Sometimes it's not good for your heart rate action.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. But sometimes the moves he does are extraordinary. And sometimes I don't even think he's human sometimes.
Well, I mean there are other people that would say the same thing. But again, when it comes to that instinct, and you can talk about this as we watch Shenton chasing down our new lead battle, Edgar and Richardson. Oh, someone's going up. Is it raining? Is it raining? Couple of drivers running off onto the banking there. Understeer. We'll have a little look around. We'll try and speak to an Alpha Live camera up out on the circuit. Here comes Shenton. Trying to cross over Edgar. Has got the move done. He's not going to go 2 for 1 round the outside. No, he's going to lose a position. That's sometimes, you know, when you wear your heart on your sleeves, when you wear your heart on your sleeve and it's, you know, all gas, no brakes, like Rocco is, then, yeah, you have great races and you have races that, you know, don't go to plan. One thing, you know, and I mean, this is not a Rocco Shenton glaze, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We're just talking about the different styles of driving. George Edgar, for example, has won at near every single class of kart he has been in the British Championship. Yellow flags waving again, and that is for Finley Hines as the driver that went off a lap ago, and still there is a kart. Finley Hines, well, he's sat on the barrier at the top of the banking. Here comes Rocco again. Now, has he learned? Yes. Don't get yourself hung out to dry on the outside. Okay, well, there's the problem. He didn't learn. He hung himself out to dry on the outside again, didn't he?
Yeah, but obviously he had a bit of a gap. Went for it initially. He went round the outside. It didn't prevail. Maybe he'll learn a third time. Third time lucky. Who knows?
Well, T2 Sugars, Satmani Kira is up into 3rd position. Oh, her neck brace is hanging off. Satmani Kira's neck brace is hanging off. Now, that's not necessarily an issue in terms of
go-kart.
It's not an issue in terms of being flagged off. Now, still yellow flags under the bridge, but it's going to be an annoyance. Now, do you wear a neck brace, John?
I used to in Bambino, but not nowadays, no.
No, of course, but if it came off, and look at the tyre smoke from Shenton. You know, if it was working loose like it is on Satmani Kira, is that something that you would notice during a race, and would it bother you?
I believe if it's just the back that's just moving, I believe it won't really cause much of a nuisance. But if it's the entire thing that's moving about, I believe it'll create a bit of discomfort for her, but it depends on the severity, obviously.
Well, let's have a look. We've got some great Alpha Live camera ops stationed around the circuit. Satmani Kira in 4th position. Let's have a look at her neck brace. You can see the back of it. It's sort of pink and it's hot pink and navy blue. It's hanging off. Here we go. Here's a battle for the race lead. Edgar and Richardson. Edgar defends. Richardson going to the outside of the banking. No, he loses out to both Shenton and to Satmani Kira. Shenton again saying, come on, forward. George Edgar's like, you know, what do I do? Just you wouldn't want to argue with Rocco, would you?
No, not in the slightest. He's getting very athletic behind that seat. And again, point again and again. He's really trying to get Edgar to go forwards, but they should, because there's such a huge battle behind him.
Yep.
There's a hack going on with Freddie Wood leading
well,
it.
And do you know what? Satmani Kira signalled to pair of them, saying, okay, I'm in, let's go. So, can they pull away from Aaron Richardson? That is the next thing. And again, Shenton, after all that pointing, can George Edgar now trust him? Or will Shenton go for a move? Edgar defending a little bit. He's not sure whether he can trust Rocco Shenton. So he's defending. That's going to upset Rocco, because Rocco's not trying to go for a move. Pretty soon he's going to think, well, do you know what? 2.5 minutes to go. I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's still pointing forward, but Edgar is not listening to him. Here comes Satmani Kira. Richardson as well is involved with this. We're having a battle with the top 4 here. Richardson and Kira look to the outside. Edgar defends. Into hairpin 2 we go. Shenton again, he's emphasising it. He's begging him just to go forward. You can't blame him though. The entire top 4 is catching. And Zdenek Babicek, who has been a bit unlucky in the X30 category, is going to fight for the win.
Here he is. Denny Babicek has arrived, and he's brought Freddie Wood and Alfie Brown with him. To be fair to George Edgar, you can understand why he's defending, because he's thinking, if Rocco Shenton is trying to, you know, yank my chain, so to speak, and pull the wool over my eyes, then I'm going to get past. Not one. Here comes Shenton round the outside.
Wow.
A Slim Shady for the lead on the banking.
That was amazing.
Mark that one down in the highlight reel. We'll be seeing that one on the social media clips yet later on. He did one last weekend at Wilton Mill, going into Christmas Corner. Have outside line, will overtake. As now, who is that? That is the Fusion car of number 20.
Harley Musk.
Harley Musk getting bullied around the top 5. With a minute to go, John, it's Shenton, Edgar, Richardson.
Ooh.
Warning, defending, too much defensive driving from George Edgar.
Yeah, it's an understandable warning there. He was white lining it for a very long time, but now we have a new leader in this race, Rocco Shenton, and he's got a bit of a gap here. Now he's starting to defend. Now he's beginning to hug the white line. Here we go, onto top of the bridge. It's still Shenton and Edgar, and it looks like it's raining a little bit on that camera.
Oh, no, that's a great commentator's way of instilling a little bit of excitement. Here comes Edgar. Oh, no.
Oh, Rocco.
Rocco, he moved across to defend. Edgar had committed to the move.
Poor
Shenton
Rocco.
just kept moving over. Contact was inevitable. Edgar leads. Here comes, Submani Kira up onto the curbs. We haven't got the last lap board yet. Here's Richardson, Babicek, and Brown now into 4th place. Submani Kira slips back to 7th to make that 8th position. Katie Donaldson is there. Max Mason's there. Harley Musk is there.
I think Alfie Brown has a 5-second penalty as well.
Oh, Alfie Brown. So remove Brown from consideration. Last lap board. Here comes Edgar. Richardson, Babicek. Brown not 4th anymore. That'll be Katie Donaldson, Max Mason, Submani Kira. Here we go then. George Edgar has got to have to hold on for dear life here. What's Richardson going to try and do from this point in? Talk us home, John.
And here we go, onto the first back straight. Edgar defends. Richardson looks for the outside line. Is he going to try and get a switch back into it? Yes, he does. Edgar tries to force him wide. He does. Here comes Babicek. Round the outside goes Richardson. Or does he? Oh, Neil crash. They've crashed. And Babicek leads. Babicek leads. What an outrageous overtake from Babicek. And he has done it. The class he's not used to. Denny Babicek wins in Junior X30. What a overtake, and what a dramatic climax to that.
Check that one off the list for the driver from Czechia, Denny Babicek. I'm just looking. George Edgar and Rocco Shenton under investigation. And I think whoever said, well, who voted yes when I said, are we going to get a better race than Senior X30? That was close.
I think that's better.
I think that was better. Okay, so that's the best race of the day so far, I would say. We've got 2 races to go. You're going to be in one of them, John.
Yeah, I've got to run to the grid now.
You've got to run to the grid. You're starting 30th with Junior Rotax. And you're going to have to try and single-handedly make your race the most exciting of the day. No pressure, by the way.
No pressure in the slightest. Well, I've got none. I'm signed 30th.
Yeah, there we go. So thank you very much, John Richardson, for joining us up here in the commentary box. You'll be able to see John on F1 Kids doing some commentary on bigger wagons. But anyone who steps in to do Formula 1, well, you've only got 22 cars now, 2 hours a day. This is 200 drivers, 25 races, non-stop, 8 hours. Love it. Love it. Denny Babicek, unofficially, your winner in Junior X30. Dan Walker, it's a shame we've missed out on watching this club race for years. Glad to be finally able to watch it. Yes, I agree, Dan Walker, even if it's for the princely sum. I mean, it's £12 and it's you know, you get so much. You get so much. Talk about pigeons. You get discussions on how I ate my lunch, how much iron brew I have. Oh, you know, there's now I have seen there's out on the banking the paddock pooches are out having their afternoon walkies. I've seen Bertie Blenkinsop, the bulldog. I've seen a rather robust-looking beagle, several spaniels, and a couple of kick-me dogs. You know, the ones that go around going, yip, 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 kick me, kick me, kick me. Those dogs. I haven't seen Pete the Basset. Pete the Basset may not be here. So I've forgotten who Pete belongs to. Or rather, you know, who belongs to Pete. But Pete the Basset I haven't seen yet. Here we go. It's now time, 2 races to go. Junior and Senior Rotax. Senior Rotax up first. Any takers for SlipStream race of the day in Senior Rotax? Ah, there's some paddock pooches. There they are. Unfortunately, we can't show more pooches because we've got to go to the race. It's Senior Rotax up next. Here we go. Your starting lineup for Senior Rotax. Pole position will be the Invisible Man, according to our screen there. It's Jared Fox-Whiteley. Brandon Truman on the outside of row number 1 at the starting 25th in his heats. Lloyd Hare, Ollie Goodyear on row 2, Liam Hartley, Oliver Walker, Jacob Grun, Harrison Crowther next, Declan Love, Jake Fisher, Ross Tyler, Alexander Gyurgius, Oliver Liversedge, Drew Preisner, Callum Sims, Dan Renton, Freddie Moore. Looking down at the back of the field, watch out potentially for Lorenzo Cordal to come and make a few moves for the Zip Factory team. Joshua Rudd hasn't yet finished a race today. His tyres will be good. Will the kart last? Jared Fox-Whiteley, driver number 23 for Jax Motorsport. He'll bring them to the line. On this, the 3rd SlipStream broadcast powered by Alpha Live, will get an extra rolling lap. Round we go again in the late afternoon sunshine here at PF International. There is the green and yellow chevroned flag to signify a false start. Don't forget, if you want to be in with a chance of winning the 20,000th Rotax engine to enter the UK via the official distributor Jag Rotax, you can win that engine signed and plated for £1. All you have to do is go to kartcomps.co.uk. There are 12,000 numbers. It's £1 per number. Every penny that is raised on the sale of that engine goes split 50-50 between Cancer Research UK and the Alzheimer's Society. On April the 14th, we hope to be able to give both those charities £6,000 each in memory of and to honour the legacy and lifetime's achievements of the late Gene and John Gravitt. John Gravitt and the late Gene Gravitt. Here we go, lights are out now, we're off and racing here in Senior Rotax. Under the bridge, somebody spins but gets going again. The leaders are all safely around the banking as I cough for a second, hang on. Someone call pest control, a frog has jumped into my throat. That is better. Down towards hairpin number 1. Oh, there's that horrible sort of skittling, scuttering sound of plastic scraping on tarmac is usually accompanied by the following visual of a driver parked into the barriers. He didn't get it that time, so everybody escapes. Up at the front, Brandon Truman for Dan Holland Racing is leading and threatening to pull away early doors. After all the hype, after all the DJ Randall and hype that we've had about this race, could Brandon Truman be about to stink up the show? We shall find out off the bridge. Truman has got his DHR teammate Lloyd Hare behind him. Here comes Harrison Paul. Harrison Paul Crowther into P4. I think that Harrison Paul must have had a penalty after one of the heat races. Oh, and that is a cart that is broken. There's the accompanying visual, and sadly it is the number 82. Oh, it's Joshua Rudd again. Right. If we can just quickly, Stu, if we can get another shot of Joshua Rudd's go-kart parked outside of turn number 1. That is 3 DNFs from 3 races for that kart. What Joshua Rudd needs to do, he needs to pick that go-kart up, walk it through the paddock, shoot it, put it out of its misery, and throw it in a skip, and go and get another frame. It is cursed. It is cursed. Poor old Joshua Rudd. That go-kart is the old Yeller of go-karts. Woodshed, shotgun, just put it out of its misery. Meanwhile, back at the front, Brandon Truman continues to lead this go-kart race. But not by very much. 5 drivers battling for the race lead. Truman, Hare, Fox Whiteley, Crowther and Ollie Goodyear. Behind Ollie Goodyear, a bit of a gap back to Oliver Walker, to Liam Hartley, Jake Fisher, Oliver Liversedge, Declan Nuff, Ross Tyler, Jacob Grun, Callum Sins, Drew Preisner and Lorenzo Cordal, up from 24th to 14th already for the Zip Factory team in kart 120. So far, so calm. Harrison Crowther in that Coles Racing number 17 has a job to do. He's got to split those 2 DHR carts, and he's got to be very, very careful about it, because him and Lloyd Hare weren't exactly best buddies earlier on. Lloyd Hare has passed Brandon Truman, so Truman is now second. Crowther has to get going. He has to pick up the pace. He has to make the move. He has to make it stick. We've got 6 minutes to go, plus a lap. Still time. Look at the sun glinting off the iridium visors on the carts, on the driver's crash helmet. We talk about how some crash helmets look very, very similar from a distance, but there is no denying they are spectacular in their design, their colour. They really do pop off the screen, so to speak. Yes, Dan, I know that his hair is leading. I missed that bit. I made up for it. It was like that episode of 4. There's Harrison Crowther into second place. There is no mistaking that. It's like that. It's like I might have missed it, Dan, but I've made up for it. It's like that episode of Faulty Towers. Don't mention the war. I think I mentioned it once, but I may have got away with it. I missed it once, but I just about got away with saying that Lloyd Hare now leads this race. Crowther second, Fox Whiteley is third, Truman fourth. Then it is Hartley, Goodyear, Liversedge. How many drivers realistically have we still got in? Well, those 5 plus Liam Hartley, I would say. Hartley in 6th, there he is for the Jack Dex Racing team. I think that Oliver Liversedge and the rest are probably a little bit too far back to contend for the victory. Joshua Smith started 27th and has just made it up into 15th with the fastest lap of the race so far. Well, It is March. Is Lloyd going to be mad as a March hare? Or is he going to be hop, skipping and jumping onto the top step of the podium? We'll find out in 4 minutes plus 1 lap. Harrison Crowther, he has got the nose of that Coles cart planted so far on the rear bumper of Lloyd here that he's gone through. New leader, Harrison Crowther. Now he defends. Here comes Fox Whiteley in third. Brandon Truman has slipped to fourth, even though he's just set the fastest lap of the race. Here comes Truman to the outside. Crowther on the anchors. You saw how early he braked there. And that's, he now cuts across to defend from Lloyd here. And the top 6 are together. Goodyear in 5th. Hartley 6th. Already Dan Walker predicting a win for whoever's in third on the last lap, I think. Is that right, Dan? Oh, hang on. Lloyd Hare trying to go round the outside. Have we got another Slim Shady for the race lead on the banking? Yes, we do. Oh, it's like Eminem's greatest hits here today. But Harrison Crowther, what are you doing, son? Almost retaking. He's gone for it again. That's not going to work, Harrison. You're pushing your luck there. Someone's gonna. And somebody has parked at the apex there. That's another driver out of the race. It is the number 116. Oh, there we go. I think that was Joseph Orton, Joseph Orton or Freddie Moore that spun around. I thought Harrison Crowther, he had the look of a driver that was so determined not to lose a position that his desire would outweigh his track position at some point. And when he was out of track position, one of his friendly rivals simply showed him the exit door, and he now finds himself back in 6th. And he's still having a good go, though. Who is that? That's Oliver Liversedge for the Jacks Motorsport team getting involved. There's Liam Hartley. So Liversedge was up into 5th. Crowther has got back ahead of them. 90 seconds to go. Lloyd Hare leads. Jared Fox Whiteley 2nd. Brandon Truman 3rd. Ollie Goodyear minding his own business. The 177 driver who's local to this circuit but who races normally in the National Kart Cup, the NKC, in 177, doing an absolutely outstanding job here. There is Callum Sims being chased by Joshua Smith, the 33 and the 15. That's for 9th position. Well, Crowther is back to P5 somehow. He has driven the wheels off that Coles Racing kart, absolutely hanging off it every single corner, just dragging every last minuscule morsel of performance out of that wagon, whether the wagon wants to join him or not. Is it going to be any better than 5th place? Next time around, the leaders will get the last lap board in front of a packed grandstand. It's Lloyd Hare, Jared Fox Whiteley, Brandon Truman, Ollie Goodyear. Less than a second separate the top 4, with Crowther next, and then a tiny gap back to Hartley, Jake Fisher, Oliver Liversedge, Declan Luff and Callum Sims. Truman makes it a DHR1-2, passing Fox Whiteley as the clock strikes 0. Oh, now Truman and Hare side by side. Here comes Fox Whiteley, and there goes Fox Whiteley. Dan Walker, remind me, get the lottery numbers off you. because you called it. Whoever was third going into the last lap, or the last but one lap, was going to win this race. Jared Fox-Whiteley comes across the line with a huge lead over Brandon Truman. And how about Harrison Crowther? Crowther to second. Up and down like a yo-yo. Harrison Crowther. Oh, and Truman and Hare aren't done yet. Oh, Dan Holland, ladies and gentlemen, will be holding a masterclass in Management 101 at the end of this race. Tickets are, about 20 quid a pop, I would say, because Hare and Truman have basically given this race away. Jared Fox-Whiteley is about to come out of the final complex. Crowther, Hartley and Oliver Liversedge emerged second, third and fourth. Jared, Fox, Whiteley and Jax Motorsport, well done, what a race. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't a bad main event either, was it? Well, unless you're a Dan Holland racing fan. Jared Fox-Whiteley for Jax Motorsport and the hard-charging Harrison Crowther, 1 and 2. Liam Hartley, Oliver Liversedge, Lloyd Hare, Jake Fisher, Joshua Smith from 27th to 7th, Declan Luff and Lorenzo Cordal from 24th to 9th. And where did the Ollie Goodyear, 22nd. And Brandon Truman, 25th. And that, ladies and gentlemen, means there is just one race to go. Dan Walker, I am going to go and investigate the weather one final time. You are allowed, you are given free range, Dan, to fill the chat with as many smug grins as you like, sir. Well deserved. No time for smug emojis in the live chat because we have got to the final race of the day. Race 25, Junior Rotax. Gold Chain Charlie starts from pole position. He drives for Dan Holland Racing. Alongside him on the front row of the grid, well, Charlie Wolfit has got Harry Taylor starting directly behind him. They're first and third. They drive for Dan Holland Racing. Starting alongside them on the front row is Fletcher Jameson. He drives for Jax Motorsport. Do you see where that's going? I wonder. Watch for Denny Babicek, who has already won in Junior X30. Also, keep an eye on Ryan Rapini in 11th on a very, very impressive debut for Jude Puddifoot. Jude Puddifoot makes it in to the main event, the X-Kart Scholarship winner in what will be one of his very first owner-driver races. He's a former Sony World Series World Final champion in Cadet. And what about my co-commentator? Number 68, Global Karting's John Richardson. He starts 30th. after qualifying on pole earlier on. Will history repeat itself? 2 Dan Holland karts, 1 Jack's Motorsport kart at the front, or will we see yet another turn up for the books? This could be special. Into the tram lines, we will go around again. A glance at the junior Rotax runners. I've lost a piece of paper in the commentary box to tell you. Well, Charlie Wolfett, he was the winner of the Icebreaker Cup. Can he make it 2 out of 2 here at PF International? What about, looking down the order, Ryan Rapini? Can he go one better than he did at Wilton Mill last week? Second last week at Wilton Mill. Can he win this one? John Richardson, 15th in the Icebreaker. He will need a drive worthy of champion status to get that far up again. Fletcher Jameson. What a result this would be, coming back to the scene of one of the most horrific accidents I have ever seen at this circuit and winning within 6 months of the accident would be, quite frankly, remarkable. It will be a testament to the staff and the medical team here at Trent Valley Kart Club, as well as to Fletcher and his family and his team. Looking a little bit further back, Tom Reed, the farmer, hardly mentioned him. He starts on the 3rd row of the grid, 4th in the Icebreaker. Well, here we go. Denny Babicek, he's already won the Rotax Winter Cup in Campios, and he's going for his 2nd win of the day here. A lot of pushing and shoving and bumping and barging as we go under the bridge. And everybody comes out cleanly. Gold Chain Charlie looks over his shoulder. Down the hill. Is that Denny Babicek behind him in the plain white crash helmet? Yes, it absolutely is. Great start for the Coles Racing, number 99 of Zach Turner. Turner up into P3. I saw Zach's dad John earlier on, who was looking thinner than ever, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I didn't realise there was that much Manjaro left. John's had it all. He is quite literally half the man he used to be. And, well, it means that he's not getting as tired working on Zach's go-karts, which means Zach's go-kart is performing better. And you think that sounds stupid, but it's not. Zach's dad, John, yeah, he wants to be lighter and fitter to give him more energy to make Zach's go-kart go quicker, and it's working. Off the bridge, in 4th position, is Fletcher Jameson. A circumspect start, as you might expect. He is still there. Then a gap back to Teddy Cooper for the Kiddix team. Harry Taylor, Tom Reed, Jack Collinson, Oliver Peterson, Theo Bradshaw. We'll keep an up-to-date on some of the other drivers that we mentioned. Jude Puddifoot started 31st, stays 31st. However, when you consider his first race in an owner-driver kart, at this level, a grid of 61 drivers, he qualifies for the main event and is running 31st. That's outstanding. Elijah Hazelwood, up to 28th, last year's the Kart Championship Junior Primo champion. John Richardson, meanwhile, 30th on the grid at the end of lap 2. He's 20th. However, the bad news for Richardson is that the leaders are very, very well spread out. Remarkably well spread out, as it happens. There's the top 4. Wolfit, Babicek, Turner and Jameson. And then a huge gap back to Teddy Cooper, Tom Reed. Out of the Mike Wilson complex. 7 minutes to go. The top 4 cross the line. Babicek. Is he going to work with his teammates? Nope, is the answer, as he takes a little nibble at a Gold Chain Charlie's rear bumper going onto the banking, and that has brought Turner and Jameson right back into play. Standard. For those of you that don't get to go to Dan Holland's first network workshop this evening, in terms of Driver Management 101, there could be a second workshop at the end of this race that you may want to go and see, depending on how well Wolfit and Babicek behave. Let's see. Turner and Jameson. Well, I don't know where Dan Walker is on the live chat, but if Fletcher Jameson gets past Zach Turner and we're left with 2 Dan Holland carts being chased by a Jackson Motorsport cart in the closing stage of this final, I am going to literally... Oh, and there is Harry Holland going for a spin. Babicek leads. It's getting tasty. It's getting tasty, very, very tasty. It's very tasty. Here comes Jameson. Yeah, you know BBC, the BBC websites, you know, you have live text commentary. Well, if Turner and Wolfit together, Babicek now has a big lead. Oh, Wolfit's got fed up with Turner. Oh, Turner's got fed up with Wolfit. Now this is getting naughty, and, well, we didn't need 2 Dan Holland carts to take each other out. Charlie Wolfit and the Coles Racing cart of Zach Turner managed to do it just as well together. I've got to say, and I'm allowed to say this because we're behind the paywall, that was totally unnecessary between Turner and Wolfit. Both those drivers could have won this go-kart race. Neither of them will finish. Well, Wolfit has got damage. Turner has got damage. Wherever they finish on the track, that may not be the final finishing order. And I've got to say, I'm a fan of both of them, but that was unnecessary. That was teenage angst. Teenage angst, teenage testosterone, all bubbling over. Babicek and Jameson, meanwhile, are now at the road. Well, of course, the symmetry has been spoilt. Now, because there's only one Dan Holland racing cart in front of Fletcher Jameson's Jack's Motorsports machine. And all Reed on the inside of Wolfit. There is Fletcher Jameson. Babicek checks over his shoulder. Now, oh, here comes Reed and Wolfit. That's not going to end well. And here comes Teddy Cooper trying to get past Wolfit. The awkward thing is, and I've got to be careful how I criticise, Charlie Wolfit, he has returned to juniors. I thought he would have gone to seniors, but he has taken the best seat in British karting, the lead junior Rotax seat in Dan Holland Racing's awning. That is the seat that Jacob Ashcroft won everything in last year. It's the seat beforehand. You know, Macaulay Bishop has sat in that seat, Kai Hunter has sat in that seat, Cole Denham has sat in that seat. Now it's Charlie Wolfit's turn to sit in that seat, and sometimes you just think you put yourself in that position where anything other than a championship victory this year for Charlie Wolfit is a failure, because, you know, he could have moved to seniors quite easily, but he's gambled on putting everything on one, you know, all his eggs in one basket. It's that number 6. And you can understand then, sometimes at the start of the year, when things aren't going quite as well as they could, frustration gets the better, because he knows anything other than a dominant championship victory will be seen as a failure this year. And that's not a cruel thing. That's just the level of expectation that Charlie will have of himself, bearing in mind that he was a winner of the final round of the British Kart Championship here last year while he was driving for MLC Motorsport. Marshall running along bridge. Marshall escapes bridge. Jameson is with Babicek now. Did I say count Charlie Wolfett out of the Oh, it's Charlie and Zach back together. Do you know what? No, that's it. You know what? That will be game over. There's no excuses. You've seen it there, ladies and gentlemen. And Charlie Wolfett is out of the race. Zach Turner, I am sure, will be advised to either return to Parc Ferme soon, or at the end of the race to have a quiet chat with the race director. And his dad may want to bring his wallet as he does so. We are 45 seconds to go. Fletcher Jameson v Denny Babicek. Who's third at the moment? Tom Reed. Where did Tom Reed win on the road at the Rotax Grand Finals last year? No, he did not. He took advantage of other people's penalties and accidents. They've done it again. Thumbs up, Junior Rotax. What are you trying to do? Babicek and Jameson out of the race. Turner and Wolfett are out of the race. Who's left leading? I do believe it is Teddy Cooper. Cooper, Taylor, Reed and Bradshaw. While the rest of the junior Rotax world has gone absolutely delulu, Cooper, Taylor, Reed and Bradshaw are going to dispute the victory. We're on the final lap. There's the Kiddix number 79 leading the 153 for Dan Holland Racing. Leading the Thule Motorsport 242. Leading the factory zip car to Bradshaw. Taylor to the outside. No yellow flags, it was okay. Taylor on the grass. Cooper holding on the inside. Reed trying to go around the outside. Look at the zip car to Bradshaw. Slicing and dicing. Oh, this is going to get expensive. Who's going to win? Oh, Bradshaw and Taylor. Teddy Cooper will come out. No, he won't. It's going to be Tom Reed. The farmer wins. It was messy. It was, and I don't mean Lionel, it was pretty. It was not pretty. But it ends the Winter Warner Trophy, and it ends it, well, on a note that we won't forget. I can't pretend that all our junior drivers covered themselves in glory in that one. However, it is the start of the season. There's lots of, everyone, the new kids on the block have got to assert their authority. The returning veterans have got to remind everyone who's boss. And somewhere along the line, some of these drivers have to realise you cannot win every race. Well, I'm glad of one thing, ladies and gentlemen. The commentary box is going to be empty very shortly because I have to disappear. It's good for the amount of drivers and their mechanics who are about to be invited to speak with the stewards, I am sure. As you look at the results in junior Rotax, well, What can you say? 25 remarkable races. 24 of them remarkable for one reason, one of them, that one, remarkable for a different reason. But there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support. Your SlipStream subscriptions and memberships allow Alpha Live to continue to push the boat out and provide you with new, interesting, innovative, funny, enthralling, enlightening bits of karting content. Content that, over the course of time, as SlipStream gathers momentum and as more clubs sign up, content that will shine a much brighter spotlight on all the drivers that compete in karting in the UK. So for those of you that are umming and ahhing about the very thought of pay-per-view karting, just remember, Alpha get it. They get the memo. They're on board and they want to promote you. I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't believe it, because, and I'm happy to put my name next to what I think could be a really, really big thing for British karting. Yes, every pound is hard to earn. It doesn't matter who you are, a pound is a pound, and it takes time to earn that pound, so we don't take you for granted. But if enough of you subscribe, Alpha Live will be able to take all of you on a karting journey through karting coverage that we've never seen before. My name has been Henry Baudet. This has been the 2026 Winter Warmer Trophy from Trent Valley Kart Club, from PF International. This has been a SlipStream broadcast powered by Alpha Live. See you next time.